All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be the second series of this evening. We've got a Terran vs. Protoss lineup all ready to go for you on Daybreak, so we're going to get right into these player introductions for you. Spawning at the bottom left-hand corner, it is a team kill, so both of these guys are from the same team. He is your red Protoss player.
440 Gaming, ColdFlame.
And up on the top right-hand side of the map, we have already expanding our double command-centered golden player. He is
440 Gaming, Lullaby.
Of course, we're calling him golden because I think that's a much more appropriate color than orange. I think you agree, Ender?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
I might have gone with carroty.
Oh.
He's very carroty.
Oh.
I don't know if that's a verb.
Getting
or
fancy.
Adjective, yeah. Exactly.
Those are things, verbs and adjectives.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. We do have the 2 racks pumping out Marines, so he's going to be decently safe in case any Oracle shenanigans go down. And I assume to see a third barracks up here running pretty shortly. Of course, the Nexus is about to finish for ColdFlame. eBay going up. Stalker, this is looking fairly standard.
Yeah, this is all pretty normal stuff, particularly after the decision to go CC first. This is kind of what you have a Terran do. He's getting the eBay, obviously, just in case, again, there is Oracles, something that he has to respond to. With turrets, also helps him get the upgrade quicker for his Marines.
Yeah, and he's going right into +1 before standard anything else. And I wonder about that a little bit. I'm not going to be overly critical at this point in the game, but it's an interesting decision. It's not something that I see that often to get the upgrade that early. And he is going to go ahead and throw down a turret in his main mineral line, and hopefully we'll see one shortly in his natural. And of course, this also helps get detection out early, just in case there are any pesky DTs on their way. From the Protoss player, he's getting sentries. He's getting his Stalker out here to get this Xel'Naga tower in the forward position. And what do you see coming out of him?
We've got the robotics bay there that just got basically scanned. It's right on the edge of scanning range, but he does see that. So that will obviously tip him towards the side of Colossus eventually anyway. The Stalker getting in here sees a lot of Marines. That's got to be a bit of a tip-off of what's going on.
Yeah, and we do have a Marauder and Stim coming out for our Terran player. And both of these players, once again, are in 440 Gaming. Lullaby is the Brazilian. I think ColdFlame is an American. We could find out for you after this match. But they both, I'm fairly certain 440 Gaming plays each other pretty consistently. It's not the first time 440 guys have met in this tournament, and they seem to know each other pretty well. What do you, I mean, let's get some predictions out here for this series.
I kind of would favor the Terran based on just what I've seen in the past. I also, again, do think the maps are kind of a little skewed towards that side of things. This being one of the potentially more balanced ones. But it looks like our Protoss wants to get really aggressive really early here. And I think he's just planning a full frontal assault.
Yeah, he's got a lot of sentries, 4 sentries, and you don't see that too often this early against Terran. But of course, force fields are the magic maker for Protoss. You know, if you get the force fields down in the right areas, there's no reason why he can't make something crazy happen. Only one force field, of course, to seize off the natural ramp. And I don't know, Endersword, call it. Let's see what the play is, what he's going to be trying to make here.
Yeah, I just think he needs to bring in, a few zealots, but I just think the Terran so knows all of this, and his build is just exactly what he needs to do to hold this down.
Yeah, he has 2 more bunkers going on the way. The Observer's going to see it, and he's still going in with the Zealots, like you said. The force fields are decent, but there's still enough surface area for these SCVs to get a repair if they so need. The rest of the army is a little bit out of sorts, but I think ColdFlame realizes what he's up against, and he's going to go ahead and pull back home before he further presses the issue.
Yeah, it is a big commitment into that already. But yeah, it can work if your opponent doesn't know, but it's the type of thing where if they know for like 20 seconds, they can completely defend it. Just absolutely shut it down immediately. And I think that's the case here. He also maybe didn't have everything he needed. Where is his mother? His mothership's core is home defending, which makes some sense, but you actually kind of need it up there for this type of assault.
Yeah, time warp is key.
Yeah.
Let alone vision. He does have the observer there.
Yeah.
But, the robotic spade is going down for ColdFlame. So, exactly like you called it. He didn't really have totally what he needed to make it work. And I think he was just trying to guessing, just going in there, poking and prodding. Of course, force fields for days. He was able to stop Lullaby from pressuring if it so failed. And we have the robotic spade and, of course, extended thermal lance, the range upgrade for Colossus. And Colossus on the way. So early Colossus from ColdFlame.
Yeah, pretty good to get that. I think he kind of sees how much bio there is, and he's got to make an AoE choice, and he's already got the robotic spade down, so it's kind of got to be that, because he's got to be a little bit worried of a counter push at any point.
Yeah, and Widow Mines have kind of eliminated the Templar Zealot openings that we used to see. As the bunkers are salvaged at the main, this observer is going to go ahead and spot everything as well. The Stalker is there, and he's actually not going to really want to take this fight. This is, force field going down, trapping Marauder and a Marine, not able to pick those up. It actually does get the Marine, at the result, or the cost of getting some damage on that medevac. This is just kind of shooing away that army of ColdFlame, but in the meantime, he's taking a third, which is key.
Yeah, and he's got to get I do like this. This is pretty well done, that he can kind of try and hold him here until that gets up. He doesn't really want to fight. He will if he'll fight like this. But
yeah, that was a really good engagement taken. And the one Colossus putting out so much DPS for that early bio, and only 2 medevacs, it's not going to be enough, especially if the Zealots get in on top of that army. The force fields are providing such a huge engagement advantage, especially coming down that ramp. I don't think Lullaby wants to continue taking engagements there. He's going to go ahead and try and take his third right on the low ground. Is this enough bio to deal with the force that ColdFlame has right now?
I kind of don't think so. Not with 2 medevacs with pretty low energy, not without any Vikings at all. He just can't deal with this Colossus, and he's got to get out of here.
Oh my god, the force field's trapping so much bio. Only 2 Marauders getting out of there. He's going to cancel the third. ColdFlame taking this perfectly thus far. 2 Colossi, nothing on the way. 2 Vikings is the response. 2 Widow Mines as well. But Lullaby doesn't have the units right now. ColdFlame showing the...
now he's just dead.
Wow.
I think he threw away little bits at a time, and now he's just going to lose.
Widow Mines get 2 hits that are pretty decent, but 2 Colossi with this amount, the Widow Mines are still putting out a lot of damage. The SCVs are pulled, the force field on the ramp. This is really GG.
Yeah, I think he kind of pushed the issue.
Series, so we'll get right into the introductions on Cloud Kingdom. In the top right-hand corner, currently down 1-0. He is, of course, in a team kill match. It is your blue Terran player.
440 Gaming, Lullaby.
And down on the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have our Protoss player who turned a soft contain into a hard win. It is...
440 Gaming, ColdFlame.
And you'll notice that Lullaby has demoted himself from golden to blue.
Oh, he's no longer golden.
He's no longer golden.
He doesn't feel like he deserves the color. He is going to go for an eBay block on his opponent ColdFlame here. Of course, both of them from the same team. And in the chat, Gabe Mikkonen said, ColdFlame chrono boosts probes and has a good unit composition and never gets supply blocked and can macro while microing like a friggin' boss. And of course, well, if you do that, you're pretty good at StarCraft.
Yeah, those are good things to do.
The irony is not lost on me.
That's pretty much the gist of it. Yeah.
We didn't. Yeah, I thought Lullaby was going to let that eBay finish. Luckily, he's not. It's got 46 more energy or points until it finishes up here. Gotta go ahead and get a scout with this SCV now. Seeing everything, the time is going, and we see a Reaper coming in too as well. So he might get a couple of pot shots off of him. We did not see a Reaper in the first map.
No, we didn't. And this time around, he does have the Mothership Core, but he opted for a Zealot. And these are going to want to come down here, but the Reaper is going to try and shove the Mothership Core any which way and slow down the time it takes to kill this.
Yeah, it's decently controlled, though, from ColdFlame. Of course, got his Mothership Core in the main. Zealot working on that eBay. And he's going to go ahead and take a couple of shots to shoo away that Reaper. In the meantime, back at home, Lullaby has taken his natural. He's getting 2 more barracks on the way. Of course, he does have the eBay there, but he's not making that back at home. He has 3 barracks about to finish up. So he's going for what looks to be like a standard 3 racks expansion into pressure. So we're going to see maybe around 9 to 10 minutes him really pop out. And is he going to get the he canceled it right at the last second. So
cancels it, but lost his Reaper.
Oh, he did. I didn't see that.
He tried to swing around, and ColdFlame did this from the first game too. He actually built this wall of his pylon and gateway, and that Reaper swung around, saw the wall, had to turn back around and died.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate because that is, of course, so key in scouting. Did he scout the Stargate? No, he didn't.
So,
he didn't scout the Stargate, so that's pretty important there. And so, we might see an Oracle, might see some Phoenix play trying to stop medevac drops, and you know what? That's any time you can control that well, that's good. If you get shut down, Stargate play, it doesn't lend itself well to staying long into the game, because if you're playing Phoenixes, you want to get a healthy number of Phoenixes. And if you're playing Oracles, you want to use the Oracles to get either harassment done early on, or you want to keep it around and use it for vision and detection and anything else that you can use those abilities for. So, it's going to be interesting. We do have an Oracle coming out, and we're going to see what type of stuff he can get done with it.
Yeah, it will be quite interesting here. He did go for that fast eBay again, and once again, we have a turret already up in the main at a pretty early time. A little poke was up there with a Zealot and Stalker. The Stalker took a lot of hull damage, and the Zealot actually died to kill 1 SCV. The Mothership Core is coming across now as well. Nope.
He's
turning around.
I think what he's doing
he
is
just wanted to look at the tower so that the Oracle
exactly
wins.
to make sure that his Oracle could get across here unscouted. And of course, in the mineral line, I don't think he's got any structure. Yeah, he doesn't have any turrets. He does have a turret. Okay, good.
Cloaked, but it's there.
Yeah, good man. Yeah, I think it's the blue. The blue hit it as opposed to the gold. They would have illuminated it for me. It does get 1 kill rather, and he shoos away these SCVs from this mining line. And of course, the bunker with the Marines in it, able to shoo away that Oracle even more so. And a turret is going to go down as this force of a couple Marines and a Marauder are going to make their way. A couple Marines, a bunch of Marines and a Marauder. And you know what? There's not so much back home to defend this. He might be able to get a lot of damage done. There's an Immortal, of course. He's going to go right into the mineral line. Photon overcharge is called. He's going to go right for these probes. A good force field is going to segment a lot of this army away, but not before 5 or 6 probes die.
Yeah, this is a fair bit of damage almost on both sides. The force field did mitigate a lot of it, that's for sure. But it did get a fair number there. We got 7 probes dead, I think, blessing the first one.
So I think that would probably be an even trade. He did lose a lot of Marines, so it might be difficult to call that an even trade. But in my opinion, 7 probes, of course, is going to be good. Return for that. I'm not going to call it a victory for Lullaby, but it was definitely good. At least he got some damage done, and going right for the probes is never a bad idea. He's going to lose this SCV building that starport, and he might lose 2 more Marines at the cost of rallying away from their mineral line, as ColdFlame's going to go ahead and move out.
Yeah, decent micro on the Oracle here, bouncing in and out of that turret range to try and pick off what he can. 7 kills total on that, which is actually quite good for... It basically had 1 kill on that initial pass.
Yeah.
And he's gotten some work done with it since then.
And I think that's what we were talking about earlier, is that if you're going to use an Oracle, you want it to have staying power. Don't just use it to harass once and then, okay, I'm going to sacrifice it to a turret. A lot of good Protoss players who are going to use their Stargates do so well by keeping their units alive and continuing to use them. Oracles haven't, they have their Pulsar beam, but they also have Revelation and Envision, and those are, and Revelation is so key on keeping tracks of your enemy. He's got his main pretty well locked down. Of course, he's going to go right into Colossus play. Phoenix is on the map already, patrolling, making sure no medevacs are going to try any funny business, and that Oracle is keeping tabs on everything. Going to pop a couple more SCVs here, in and out, wait till the shields get back up, and keep doing the business.
Yeah, what he's doing here is coming in when he thinks a building is going to be under construction. He will lose it now. But he keeps popping in, and he's looking for SCVs that are outside the mineral line so that he can halt the building construction and still pick up the kill.
Yeah, that was pretty that was pretty big play from him with that Oracle, making it happen. And of course, now he feels confident enough to take the third. We're going to go ahead and see, Lullaby try and just stabilize on 2 base and get enough of a force, but this is looking eerily similar to last game. He is going to go ahead and boost out here. I think there's a Widow Mine in that medevac. Yeah, so you're going to try and do some drop play, but it's really he's just going to be trying to take away the Protoss army and focus on something else. I don't really see this going too well for Lullaby. He's supply blocked. He seems to be a little bit behind on everything. We're going to see if he can make something work, because if there's any race that God put on this green earth, it's Terran that can make something happen from nothing.
Definitely is the case. I do like that ColdFlame has gotten out a couple of Phoenixes and going for a third one now. That's going to just be designed to shut this play down and clear the air. 1 kill there.
Yeah, he's going to try and get it back into his medevac, and he does. He's going to have to boost out, because he's going to lose that medevac unless he controls it well. He's going to go ahead and drop the Widow Mine, but he's going to lose the medevac, and that's not a good trade. It lost a medevac. So key as there's an engagement going down at the 3rd ramp, and all of the bio, essentially, except for some Marauders and some Marines, got taken out. And you know what? That happened at the top of a ramp.
Yeah, exactly like you were saying before the game started. That's where a lot of your engagements are going to happen, and that's what's going to decide these fights. And he's now going to be pumping out double Vikings to try and deal with these Colossus, but the few Phoenixes are really annoying to deal with that. There's 3 Colossus. It's going to take a lot of them to do anything about this.
Oh, and great micro. He sees the Widow Mines, and he's going to keep his Phoenixes away from that. The Phoenixes, I don't know. He's going to get a good concave up here as Lullaby, but the Observer is going to be able to take out the Widow Mines instantly. He does stim 2 medevacs in support. Phoenixes are already taking care of him. Only 2 Vikings on the way. He's going to pull SCVs and lift the orbital command at the natural. All the SCVs are going to die because they don't get enough surface area here. 3 Immortals do go down rather quickly, and now there's nothing to tank for these Colossi. Are the Marauders going to be enough to be able to push this back?
I think he will actually kill 3, although he's not target firing.
Oh, God.
Look at how this damage is spread.
Oh,
all right,
God.
Kills 1 there. There's no way this can continue, but had he focus fired, like that, there was basically 2 full Colossuses worth of damage on the 3 of them.
Oh, man. And he lost all the SCVs at the natural mining base, down basically a half supply, 50 to 110 in advantage for our Red Protoss player. And he's looking very comfortable with his 3rd already established. And the production at this point is going to be so much so in his favor. Lullaby's just now got his 3rd up and running. And it's really going to be a uphill battle, to say the least, from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've already proven that fighting uphill is not good. There's only 28 SCVs out compared to 66 probes on the other side. The Protoss has just kind of hit the point that their production could snap into full-on out of control at any moment. It looks like he's even going to be adding Templar on just to diversify things a bit more.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and take a 4th. He's got Templar Archives on the way. Of course, Storm is going to be coming out of there really quickly. He's got Observer Speed even coming out. And you know what? It's not going to be... it's not going to be very easy for Lullaby to find himself in any sort of winning position unless he makes some crazy plays happen. And, of course, drops, I guess, are your way into that. But he already knows the Phoenixes are on, so he's fighting a battle that's going to be pretty difficult.
Yeah, these are going to get dropped. He's going to have the Phoenixes swing over, kill the medevacs, and lose this portion of the army.
He might snipe the Nexus. He's going to get the Nexus canceled for sure. But after that, it's like, you're still only on 3 bases. Like, oh, he didn't get the cancel. He didn't cancel it. So losing 400 minerals unnecessarily. But, of course, what you've done now is you've said, okay, we're still on 3 bases as opposed to 4. We're the least you are is even. That's not you're not going to be doing too well either way.
And he's still giving up. By giving up 2 more medevacs, he's delaying the time that it would take to get enough Vikings. Oh, he's going to lose these full ones.
Oh.
Yeah, he's delaying the time that it would take to get the Vikings out. And there's no way to deal with any of this.
Yeah, he can't. The army's already on this other side of the map, so the medevac drops that would be pulling this Protoss army back is not going to be enough. The Phoenixes, of course, putting out so much DPS, even though there's only 6 or so of them. They're doing what they need to do. The Colossus, so much damage. 1 medevac's going to get out, but at this point, what do you do if you're Lullaby? He's going to go ahead and drop the natural. A lot of damage can get done, but more Zealots warped in, Photon overcharged, and a cannon. There's not much you can do about this at this point.
Yeah, that command center does fall here now. He's completely got his naturals lifted up. These are just going to die. He's going to try and escape up into the main here.
But if we go back to his main and natural, like, that's where the true stuff is ending this game. Phoenix is coming back to take out these medevacs, and once that's gone, that's gone. The army of ColdFlame is totally destroying the natural of Lullaby, and really, do you even lift, bro? Well, these Phoenixes have been hitting the gym, and they're going to go ahead and take out these Marauders. The natural's completely gone for Lullaby. These Colossi are almost infinite because they've got, a pretty decent force of Zealots in front of them, if they can get them out there, 6 of them or so. But that's so much DPS.
It is a lot, but yeah, this just melts. It's not going to matter too much. The Immortals mixed in with this are great as well. And yeah, ColdFlame, second game up 2-0. On Ohana, and of course everyone knows Ohana means team kill. We have down on the bottom right-hand side our now blue Terran player. He is from Team 440.
440 Gaming, Lullaby.
And his opponent in the top left-hand corner, trying to make it a quick 3-0 against his teammate, trying to break into the semifinals alongside our first qualifier, that Zerg player, Zode. He is your red Protoss player.
440 Gaming, ColdFlame.
He's the only Protoss left in this tournament, ladies and gentlemen, and he's representing his race very well, showing that it's not necessarily always the nightmare pool for Protoss in this latter season. Doing his best and actually coming up with some not necessarily standard play. Phoenix Colossi is, of course, a legitimate strategy that does work pretty well, but you don't see it from everybody, and you don't see it all the time.
440 Gaming, Zode.
Yeah, Canary was saying in chat he thinks that that ColdFlame just kind of likes that style.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not something that everyone uses, but it can be quite strong. Obviously neutralizing some of the Viking play and shutting down drops at the same time. A Zealot will chase away this first SCV. He didn't want the eBay block again. But
yeah, he is going to go ahead and deny the natural going up for ColdFlame a little bit at least, trying to poke and prod and take away that probe, and he might actually get a kill. One more shot on it, I think, is going to be all she wrote. And he's actually doing some really... Oh, that's 2 more shots, rather. He does get the kill. Some really fancy Reaper and probe micro there. Taking a long time, and he might go ahead and take out the second probe. And, well, really close. Nope. But no, the Stalker coming in there. Finally getting a kill, and ColdFlame able to establish his second. A little bit later, not substantially later, and I guess the Reaper paid for itself. But, I don't know. I feel like if you're going to make a Reaper, you should probably keep it alive for that scouting information.
It's kind of I kind of think both players are probably a little happy. He knows that he got the kill and he got the delay, but then the Protoss is like, great, Reaper's dead. I can build what I want now.
Yeah, and that's, it is a 1-1-1 coming out of Lullaby, getting the starport up at the 5-minute 30 mark, good and early, at least if you're going to go ahead and expand. The Stalker's going to make its way in here to see what's going on, and he sees a SCV undefended making a bunker, so he's going to have a field day with him. 4 Marines do come down, but the bunker not completed. He'll be able to kite these, and especially with the support of the Zealot, he's going to have a lot of staying power here. 6 Marines now, one of them did die, so down to 5. And he's going to be able to do some hull damage to both of these units and shoot them away for the time being. And he actually might kill the Stalker. That would be a little unfortunate for ColdFlame, but that Timmy the Stalker making his way back. Stewie the Stalker making his way back. He's not ready to give his life for ire just yet, although I'm sure he will do so when the time is called. Ooh, an early third. What do you think about this?
This is it's a little out there. I'm not sure what he's seeing exactly that makes him think that's definitely what he wants to do. He did see a reasonable number of Marines out, and it's very hard to cover both.
Yeah, this is going to be a little. It's going to be telling to see if Lullaby is going to sniff this out. We do have, of course, Widowmines and Marines on the way, and he did keep one Widowmine in his in his main mineral line to go ahead and defend from oracles. We haven't seen oracles. We saw one map of the oracles, and that was on Cloud Kingdom, and he used them to great advantage. And so we do see this medevac with 2 Widow Mines coming out. And he's going to see the 3rd. So it's going to be interesting from this point onwards.
This definitely will be interesting. I think he's not going to be expecting it there. This is kind of his point to wait and turn the corner and go into like the natural. But he will see that it's there, but it also means the medevac gets spotted.
Yeah, and I think Lullaby's alarm bells should be ringing, and it's going to be interesting to see what his response is. He can take this a couple of ways. He can expand himself. He can go ahead and do some pressure, or he can try and go for some, interesting tech switches. One Widow Mine going down in the main, or the natural, and it's going to go ahead and burrow. No detection there as of yet, and he gets 1 kill. And the second one going off in the main. An Observer already on the way of that for our Protoss player, and that mine is going to get 2 kills. And he's going to go ahead and pick up and lift up out of there. Those Widow Mines getting a lot done, forcing the Observer out, and maybe ColdFlame would rather be using that robotics bay or those minerals for something else. He already does have 1 Observer, but this Widow Mine is already out of that mineral line. These 3 sentries are going to be able to try and take out that medevac, but now he does.
Interesting. This Widow Mine is going to reset and actually fire.
Oh my god!
Fire a clutch shot before it does die.
An understatement. That was a lot of medevac or Widow. There's a lot of probe kills. And like I said, it's really interesting to see where Lullaby takes it. And it seems like he's going to get his upgrades in. He's going to get a nice little healthy force here, push out and see what damage he can get done.
Yeah,
I don't think this is going to go in ColdFlame's. I don't think it's going to go in his favor so much so because he doesn't have a lot to deal with this right now. It looks like.
Yeah, there's not a lot of damage here, and even just with 1 or 2, he's going to actually get this little force trying to sneak in behind him.
Oh, God. The force fields are going to be so key here, and they're not going to let this army do anything.
No, this whole thing is trapped.
Oh, God, they're all dead.
The other force sits by and watches and goes home.
And that medevac is done. And you know what? The Widow Mine's not going to get anything done because it's going to be shot with the Observer there detecting.
Yeah.
On the production tab, we do see ColdFlame's got only 3 probes on the way. Meanwhile, the production tab for Lullaby has got Marauders, Marines, medevacs, Widow Mines, Stim, Combat Shields just finished. So he is going to go and try and take advantage of this. But the longer that 3rd stays up, the harder it's going to be for Lullaby to get himself back in this game.
Yeah, very true. This is what Lullaby is doing right now is almost entirely predicated on taking that out. If it stays up, it's too late. And he's going to get this little force caught out.
Yeah, and this army is with the Guardian Shield, the Marauders are not going to be as strong. And you know what? There's only 2 medevacs here, couple Widow Mines, but this force of Cold Flames is big enough to end the game. He didn't even need to have the economic advantage of that 3rd kick into gear yet, because to be honest, it hasn't been in gear long enough for it to become a thing and to be noticeable in this game yet.
Yeah, he is going to pull off these 2 medevacs and attempt some sort of drop into the main. There is an Observer in place. There's also an Observer that's still just sitting in the natural of Lullaby, and I think just saw the entire thing.
And you know what? Up. You know what else, too? We see Phoenix, we see Protoss air weapons on the way, and 2 Stargates go down. 1 more on the way. We're going to see an air switch out of ColdFlame.
Yep, does drop off here. What is he going to get done with this? Goes directly after the Mothership Core. No photon overcharge goes off. Picks off 2 sentries there.
It's pretty huge, and he's going to be able to fight on top of this ramp. Of course, Vision going to be big here. The Protoss does have his units there. He blocked himself off. He's going to go ahead and boost out of here with these medevacs and units, But he does have the Widow. I heard Widow Mines burrow. I guess there we go. They're the Widow Mines. They're going to get some heat. Oh no, he needed to target those.
Not actually the best. Yeah, 3 kills between the 2 of them, and they'll have to get it.
Okay, he's going to pick up out of here with these medevacs. He might lose 1. Don't
just stop.
Get him out. Okay, so he does have both of them surviving.
But then this attack on the other side, if he just targets it down, everything is so far out of position, this will fall.
This is really good from Lullaby here. Now he's got the supply advantage, pulling his Protoss opponent left and right. Huge Widow Mine hit goes down on those probes. You can't be losing probes right now. It's a lot of probes gone. And you know what? The force of ColdFlame not looking too scary these days. The 2 carriers on the way, there's a force in the main. The Stargate switch was not an appropriate one. Lullaby looking like he's going to take game 3. GG is called. Welcome back. We are on Overgrowth. Of course, it is the 4th match of this TVP series. We'll get right into these player introductions. Spotting in the bottom left-hand corner, it is trying to come back and tie the series up 2-2. Your blue Terran player.
.440 Gaming, Lullaby.
And up here on the top right-hand side of the map, in red and not giggling behind me like an idiot, is from Team 440. He is our Protoss.
.440 Gaming, ColdFlame.
Yeah, so game 1 and 2 going to ColdFlame pretty handedly. Game 3, Lullaby able to capitalize on what was seemingly a mid-game switch into air toss, as your friend behind you goes ahead and correlates with my decision. We do have the natural expansion going down at a decent time, finally, for ColdFlame. No eBay blockage, no Reaper harass. It's actually gone up and on its way. The command center, of course, is already done for the most part in the bottom right. I think he went command center first, and he's doing what appears to be the same build that he did in the first map.
Yeah, it does look quite similar here. Does decide to get that economic advantage early on, going for double gas at the same time here, and just pumping out a few Marines for defense or potential aggression. And we've got Gateway Stargate again.
Yeah, and he really enjoys his Stargate play, and he is probably going to be going into Oracle first because it is slightly earlier than it was last time. I hope he plays a bit more standard than he did last game, because that was really what worked for him well on Daybreak and Overgrowth. Or not Overgrowth, what was the second map?
Cloud Kingdom, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he really used standard Protoss play to great effect, showing that the Dream Pool is not the Nightmare Pool for all Protoss. We do have a 2 racks into Factory going out for Lullaby, and he did a 1-1-1 on Ohana that turned out to be a really good decision on him, because the Widow Mine drops, the Widow Mines were really the key to him winning there, because it was the only thing that kept him essentially level until ColdFlame went to Sky Toss. And I think, honestly, had ColdFlame not gone into try to make that switch, we probably would have seen him win that game. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, he did it so drastically with the double Stargate that it was just a bit too much. If he had gone Stargate even in a Colossus or 2, it might have been better. But he does have the Oracle out here now. It will make its way across the map. See if Starport coming down. No Widow Mine yet, but Marines are in place in the main mineral line, and there's a bunker at the natural.
Did you talk about the 2 robotics bay that have gone down?
I have not seen that.
Yeah, it's a two robotics bay going down. So pretty much as drastic as last game, he went a lot of Stargate as the Oracle is going to make its way into the main. Oracle in the main. Okay, I think it got 1 kill and it got taken out pretty much. Now it's going into the natural, and it's going to go ahead and take out a couple of these units, and actually is going to get away with its life. Very close to dying. One more Marine volley and go down. Playing with some fire there, but really good Oracle micro, and I think he's been demonstrating that throughout his tournament here.
Yeah, definitely. We saw in one of those games, I think it was it Clan Kingdom, that he came in with the Oracle, kind of did nothing on the first pass, but then ended up getting 9 more kills just out of pure micro.
Yeah, that was
I think we're going to see it stay alive and go in for some more.
Yeah, I do want to remind everyone that anyone who is talking about Avillo right now in chat is going to go ahead and confirm rule number 3 or 2 of Twitch chat rules, which is to say that all Twitch chats will eventually devolve into Avillo hate. So thanks for keeping up with the Newton's third law of Twitch chat.
Indeed.
We have a siege tank coming out for Lullaby in Blue Flame. So he's going to go some biomech build because he's also getting stim.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but we'll see how it does play out here. It could be quite interesting, but again, with double robo, there are going to be some immortals with this.
He needs to cancel, I don't know, if he's going to keep stim, right, that's gas is going to bio upgrade. As his Oracle is going to keep getting kills, up to 8 kills, exactly like you said.
Yeah.
He's using his Oracle to great effect. If he keeps the stim upgrade, that's 100 gas not going to any sort of mech plane. He's getting a 3rd factory here. So it's going to be Colossus on the way for Lullaby, so ColdFlame, rather. So no Immortals as of yet. But ColdFlame going to go ahead and take another 3rd before the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, and he's doing it in the kind of aggressive location there too, not taking it in the back, just pushing right forward. He's going to get in, and this Oracle, as much as it's a killing force, is also a great scout right now. He's got to be looking at things like tanks and saying, well, what the hell's up here?
Yeah, he's not really changing his build, though. I think he's perfectly happy with getting his Colossus count pretty decently high, and he's going to go Phoenix Colossi. And to be perfectly honest, that is not the best composition versus mech.
No, he can switch into maybe more Immortals. He's got 2, but if he kind of double pumps those out, that might be kind of the way to go.
But Hellbats do fairly well against Immortals.
They do, yeah. It's a rough one overall. Hellbat and tank is just really good, but there's almost nothing that's good against it.
Yeah, we do see this Oracle.
You just kind of have to do better. Yeah.
It's still alive, and it finally goes down. I wasn't able to see how many kills it did end up getting, but it got a lot of scouting information, and I think, like you were talking about, he is going to go into double Immortal production once he gets that Colossus finished, because he has gotten another Immortal out of one of the robotic space. Not really changing up his life too much. Actually, he's going to go ahead and do Colossi Immortal, so the Colossi for the Hellbats and the Immortals for the tanks. And that's pretty good as it can be, because we have a Hellbat Marine, Medevac, and Siege Tank army pushing out here, and there's some Immortals, and there's only 3 Siege Tanks. It is going to be spotted from ColdFlame, so he knows what he's up against.
He can get into position here right now where he just sieges this up.
Yeah, and he's going to go ahead and do that. He
doesn't want to engage here right now. He should be pulling back.
Yeah, he needs to. This is a lot of DPS for the Colossi, but one Colossi go down really quickly. The Hellbat's getting in on top of this army, and it is all but evaporated. Only 2 more Colossi, and he's lost his entire force. This mech, Blue Flame, Siege Tank, Hellbat composition has done its job here, and he's right in on the mineral line. He's going to be able to pressure this third and pretty much end it.
Yeah, it is just so tanky here. Then these Hellbats turning back into Hellions, going right after these probes. Huge lineups there as this does fall.
Wow, that's great play and good awareness for him to send the Hellions after those probes to make sure he's getting as much damage as he can, because he doesn't want to keep all of his army with, as Hellbats, because he would not have been able to take out those probes. A little bit of a force reassembled for ColdFlame at the top of his natural ramp, but this is a huge army for Lullaby. He's got plenty of supply gap. 2 Vikings on the way, 6 more Hellbats, 2 Marauders even in the force. This is looking pretty invincible right now.
Yeah, he's going to get the tanks down here, just shelling into this. Time Warp, complete miss almost. It takes that flank, but there's nothing there at the time.
I do like the Phoenixes. They can get in here and they can lift tanks, ladies and gentlemen. They look like really weird. I don't know what the tanks look like when they're lifted.
Meh. Yeah, I think that was the inspiration for Legacy of the Void. If Phoenix can lift them sieged, why can't Terran drop them?
Why can't a Medevac lift them siege? Yeah. You know what? I was waiting to see the Hercules Cyclone play out of Lullaby, but he's instead staying with the tried and true Blue Flame Hellbat versus Siege Tank. There's a Siege Tank up in the air, but the Immortals are going to go down almost instantly to the Concussive Shell Hellbat combination. All the Colossus except for 2 are gone, and they're not going to live for much longer if they try and stay and fight. Plummeting in supplies, ColdFlame. And you know what? Our Protoss player's on the ropes in Game 4, and is he going to lose this series? But, he's going to lose this game. That's almost a certainty. And he's going to have to come back in Game 5 and really reevaluate his play. He was up 2-0. He's going to be down, he's going to be tied 2-2, having lost the last 2 games. And, he's going to really have to drive his way back into the series.
Yeah, I think he's going to get back to his roots or something a bit here. It's a little too crazy or something. It's good to throw in play that throws your opponent up, but Stargate, 2 Robos, expanding in a very aggressive position, things like that aren't working out for him yet.
Yeah, he was able to win the first 2 games so handedly because he played the standard game well. And now that he's gone ahead and played 2 seemingly different games, Lullaby was just like, lol, okay, I'm going to make a bunch of Hellbats and make a bunch of Siege Tanks.
Here we are back on Akalon Waste. Some call it game number Sank, some call it game number Cinco. We just call it game number Awesome. It is a team kill against 440 and 440. Up here on the top left-hand side of the map, we have a blue Terran player He is
440 Gaming, Lullaby.
Yeah, this is Game 5. This is for all the marbles going into that semifinal matches. Of course, both of them trying to secure their play. ColdFlame went up 2 games, and then Lullaby taking it back, trying to tie up the series. And, of course, your red Protoss player.
440 Gaming, ColdFlame.
We were talking as this eBay block. What is he? What? No. Okay, yeah, okay. That's an eBay block, of course, at Protoss, the Protoss players natural. But we were talking about in the chat. I see a couple guys discussing what would be the case if Canary was a Protoss player. They say break the game. Guys, if you have never seen Canary play, go watch his replays. I think we've got the VODs going up on YouTube, and we've of course got the previous broadcasts on Twitch. I don't know if Canary's still in there, but go watch his games. They are some of the most entertaining things I've ever seen. He's got such a great play style, and one of those types of people that ASL really caters to, because unfortunately not all of that stuff would totally work in the professional leagues. But he is I would say the Maru of our league.
Yeah, a little bit. It's definitely a very hectic play. We're going to have this eBay canceled off, freeing up the awesome location for the natural. If only you could build a Nexus, then float it over when it was gone.
If only I could warp in a command center and then just leave it building by itself. We could probably go on for a long time.
you can warp it all the way in from higher, and you can't move it 5 feet.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, once you make
nice Reaper build.
Yeah, he does get the Reaper kill. The Reaper not going to be able to get a scout. And this has been a kind of trend from Lullaby, not really using his Reapers to get the scouting information that really they are useful for.
Bunker does finish here now.
Yeah, and this is the first time he's got the bunker up in time to deal with this initial Stalker Zealot harassment. And we are going to see a Stargate out of ColdFlame, decently early, but for him that seems pretty standard.
Yeah, he definitely seems to like that, and I would if I was him. He seems to get a lot done with it in terms of the kills. Even if his initial pass doesn't do much, he still ends up with 11, 12 kills somehow.
Yeah, and that Oracle pays for itself time and time again, not like you're discussing, not just in kills, but in scouting. And he didn't use it to the best scouting effect, I think, last game. He saw a mech transition, but maybe he had too much of an investment into 2 robos to really come out of that.
Yeah, he didn't really respond in the right way to it. It was more in a previous game that he was not only using it to keep a tabs on what his opponent was doing, but also slowing it down by canceling those SCVs that are doing the building. Is just going to slow them down 20 seconds each time, and that's really annoying.
Yeah. Oh, it's annoying, and it's like you said, it's proper harassment. It's denying a building timing, not just a mineral timing.
Yeah.
And so that control from ColdFlame has been one of the, as my friend Krabison noted, it's been one of the trends of this year's series. And he's going to go ahead and come in, and he's going to actually do exactly what you were just talking about. Takes out the SCV building the factory. Going to deny that for some time. No starport for you for a little bit, at least until you deal with the Oracle. And Lullaby is researching STEM as this Zealot and 2 Stalkers make their way to the Natural. So really good in using the Oracle and these small units in tandem.
Yeah, does end up losing the Oracle there.
Oh, that is pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a unit that he likes to keep around for a long time, and unfortunately he's not able to anymore. These Marines are going to try and take out the Mothership Core, but of course with 2 Stalkers they're not going to be allowed to do so for much longer, even targeting it, so they're all going to die if they keep fighting here, and well, they're all going to die anyway. Go ahead, I'll write home to Mother that you tried to snipe the Mothership Core, but it just didn't work out for you.
It was fair.
Yeah, so like we were talking about, ColdFlame committed a hard to the double robotics play last game, and that might have been a leading cause of why he wasn't able to transition into something that would deal with the mech.
Yeah, and we're going to get him boldly going on to what is going to be a full-on bust. He is adding on 4 more gateways. He is chrono boosting out the extended thermal lance for the Colossus, and he got 1 immortal. He is going to attempt to just break down this bunker and win the game.
Yeah, and it's pretty ballsy because if it doesn't work, I don't think he's going to win. I think it's going to be heavily in Lullaby's favor.
Yeah, it's actually 7 gateways. He's going up to 2 more in the natural.
Yeah, he does have a hallucinated. Phoenix going to go ahead and get into the main and see everything that he's up against. He sees all the tech. He sees 2 barracks going. Actually, he might not see the 2 barracks going now, but he has a very good-eyed pulse reading on what Lullaby is up to. Both players, very similar supply. And that's not really the tell. I think what the proper tell is that they're both going for nothing crazy. There's not a third coming out too soon for either player, and I think this probe wandering over for ColdFlame is going to be for pylons. He's not going to go ahead and take a third. And so both of them, they're 2 base in it. Of course, 5 racks is the standard for Terran on 2 base that are fully saturated with your factory and starport. And he's going to be putting out as much bio as he can, getting his upgrades in, and ColdFlame happily content to get his Colossi numbers up.
Yeah, the real key here will be whether or not Lullaby actually makes Vikings, and also whether his whole army gets caught here.
Yeah, and he is going to go ahead and get force fielded out, losing a couple of those Marauders unnecessarily. Another Time Warp goes down right on top of it. More force fields. Really great control from this army from ColdFlame, and he's going to go ahead and destroy that entire expeditionary force.
Yeah, and he's got to respond really quickly to this. It doesn't look like he's going to, unfortunately. Yeah, he's going to pick up, and I think that was kind of the thing he needed at home to really hold anything here. He's going to try and repair this bunker, but he should be able to get force fielded away.
Yeah, Guardian Shield goes up, 2 Zealots getting in on the army, and these Stalkers are putting out a lot of damage as well as Colossus. More SCVs are pulled, trying to repair that bunker. The force fields are going to go and segment off this army, deny the repair surface area for those SCVs, and Colossus are put out so much DPS. We've got 6 kills and 2 on the other.
But the Zealots are gone now.
Get on top of this army, and the bio is still alive. It's just 2 Colossus, but more reinforcing Stalkers able to come in on top of your 79 supply for ColdFlame. Are the reinforcing Stalkers going to be able to win it?
2 Vikings do come out here. It's going to be hard for the Stalkers to deal with that and the Grand Army. He's going after this command center that's not crucial, but a lot of SCVs have been lost.
Yeah, this Bioforce is going to have to fight. It's a little hard out, of course. With the Observer, there is vision. They're going to stim and interrogate one of the Colossi. It does go down. They're going to try and get the second one. They have enough here, actually. Now the Vikings come into play. More Stalkers reinforced, but Marauders with Medivacs and only 4 Stalkers. It's not going to work. Has Lullaby held for long enough?
Does have another Colossus out here, but not enough to really reinforce it yet. The Zealot's trying to come in.
Tell you what, the key is going to be that 3rd CC. Can he establish his 3rd quick enough? If Lullaby establishes that and starts pumping out SCV production, he might be able to get his way back into this game. A lot of people in Twitch chat calling the GG. Not exactly the case here, ladies and gentlemen.
No, definitely not. This can still end up going either way. It's he's getting Phoenixes out behind this now to try and delay those Vikings. He's adding an Immortal onto it as well to deal with the Marauders, although I'm not sure how that'll be as opposed to a Colossus, but he's got 2 Colossus out as well now.
This drop, such a big decision from Lullaby. He says, I don't think you're going to push. I have the time, but there's nothing here to defend. The Marine is going to see this unit, and maybe he's going to pull back. That medevac's still on the way. ColdFlame not sensing what's happening, not pushing out. The Star Sense isn't kicking in gear. Lullaby boosting in. He sees the 3rd. He's going to drop. No, he's going to go right for that natural. He says, I know what's going to hurt you. Probes. Losing probes is going to hurt you. Starts dropping, and ColdFlame's decision is going to be the key here. Does he bring his army back? Or does he not give 2 fucks and he's going to go ahead and push the natural? And I think we know what he's doing.
Yeah, he is going to shove on in here. There are 3 Vikings with this force. He force fields the ramp up. That army cannot come up anytime soon here. He's going to have to lift this up, but he's going to lose it anyway.
Oh, man. That drop decided the game. At this point in time, I don't see a way for Lullaby back. He's going to try and micro his little heart out, but that drop denied the 3rd at the cost of losing both his 3rd command center and his natural.
Yeah, definitely is a case there. The good thing is it's still actually alive and still doing work here, but yeah, there's just not really a lot of places to go.
I mean, he does have +1, and the fight is going down in the main ramp. There is a lot of Vikings, but of course, Phoenix doing a lot of damage here. The Zealots getting on top of this bio, providing a huge buffer for the Colossi in the back. No more Vikings left. Just stemmed bio, only 2 or 1 more Viking left.
And he gets one of the Colossus there, long range. There are 2 Vikings out now. He's almost using these. He's using the force fields in his advantage, and ColdFlame can't reinforce this because he has to spend everything at home, and he's got almost no income.
This map has taken a little bit of a crazy turn. The unfortunate thing for Lullaby is he has basically no SEVs. Mules are good, but he only has 1, and he's got 2 SEVs. So Lullaby is down to 34 supply. He's on the last leg of his life here. Had he not done that drop, he might have been able to hold. He might have been there. That's such a key move. And of course, hindsight is 2020. If we look at the resources lost tab,
wow.
What am I looking at here?
Dead even.
Jesus. Jeez. Yeah. 10,103 resources, 2010. It is a very close game, but I think ColdFlame has been able to hold out and really do the damage and not take any himself.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, he got his 3rd delayed. He lost some probes. He lost mining time, but they're still alive. And there's still enough to fully saturate 2 bases.
Yeah, and there's
pushing back on it again.
No SEVs left for Lullaby. So if this push fails, his tournament life will end. 3 medevacs, low on energy. He's got a hit squad of bio, 3 Vikings. Not really much going for him. This is a huge Colossus, or a huge Protoss army, at least relatively for the game. He is going to come in here and catch the Protoss army off guard. But even in the base trade scenario, he is going to come on top. The Protoss army is coming home, so he's going to have to fight up. This might be what Lullaby literally he can do if he's going to go and snipe the Nexus, which he does. We're going to see what the next move is after this, because that's really what's going to be the key. He's taking out a lot of probes here, and he's trying to get himself back in this game. Force field on the ramp denies that pile from going up into the main.
Yeah, he tries to pick up, but he doesn't have enough, actually, medevacs to do it.
No, he left more of his...
Yeah, he left it down, yeah.
Oh, no. ColdFlame is going to
let the Vikings...
After this, yeah, the Vikings, not enough. GG is called, and ColdFlame doing it for the Protoss race, Endersword. How happy are you for that?